The lights of Tokyo Dome glowed brighter than ever as Game 4 of the SMBC Japan Series 2025 came to a close, and the crowd's energy refused to fade. The scoreboard told the story, a narrow but unforgettable victory, sealed by one man's brilliance. As cameras turned toward the field, the hero of the night stepped forward, surrounded by flashing lights and roaring cheers that seemed to shake the stadium itself. The hero's uniform was drenched in sweat and dirt, the clear evidence of a player who had given everything for his team. The fans knew they had witnessed something special. He had not only delivered clutch hits but also displayed unmatched composure under immense pressure. Every swing, every play, and every moment seemed to be driven by sheer willpower. When the interviewer approached with a microphone, the noise barely settled. The hero smiled humbly, nodding at the cheers before beginning to speak. His voice carried both exhaustion and pride. "I just wanted to do my job for the team," he said. It wasn't about being a hero. It was about staying focused and believing in each other. Those simple words drew another wave of applause. This was no ordinary performance. In the 8th inning, with the game tied and tension so thick it could be felt across the stadium, he delivered the decisive hit, a line drive to right center that split the outfielders and sent two runners racing home. That single moment changed everything. The dugout erupted, the fans went wild, and even the usually stoic manager pumped his fist in the air. The hero's reaction was almost calm, as if he knew it was coming. But inside, he admitted later, his heart was pounding faster than ever. "I was nervous," he laughed. "But when you see your teammates trusting you, you find strength you didn't know you had." Throughout the game, he showcased his versatility. Not just at the plate, but in the field, diving stops, quick throws, and intelligent positioning. He was everywhere, reading the game like a chess master, anticipating every move. His defensive play in the 5th inning, a diving stop that prevented a sure run, may have saved the game long before the decisive hit ever came. The manager, speaking afterward, could hardly hold back his admiration. "He's the kind of player every team dreams of," the skipper said. "Not just for his skill, but for his mentality. When things get tough, he steps up." Those words echoed the sentiments of an entire fanbase that had just witnessed a moment of greatness. Even his teammates were quick to celebrate his heroics. One veteran said, "We all feed off his energy. When he's confident, it spreads through the dugout." Another added, "He never shows fear. He's the calmest guy out there, even in the biggest moments." It wasn't just about one hit or one game. For this player, it represented years of work, countless hours in the batting cage, and moments of doubt that had been silenced by determination. He had come close to moments like this before, but this one, on the grandest stage of Japanese baseball, was different. The crowd continued chanting his name long after the final out. Children waved banners with his number, while older fans clapped rhythmically, unwilling to leave the moment behind. The hero looked up at the stands, raised his cap, and smiled. You could almost feel the emotion in that small gesture, gratitude, pride, and connection. As the interview continued, he reflected on the team's mindset heading into Game 5. "We can't relax," he said. "This series isn't over. We've got to keep fighting until the last pitch." His focus, even after a night of glory, revealed the mindset of a true champion. The interviewer asked about the pressure. After all, the team had been trailing earlier in the series, and a loss tonight would have been devastating. He nodded thoughtfully. "Of course, there's pressure," he admitted. "But pressure means you're in the right place. It means the games matter. I think that's what every player wants, to play when everything is on the line." The way he spoke, calm, reflective, and yet brimming with quiet fire, showed why he was so respected. It wasn't just about talent, it was about mentality. He carried himself like someone who understood the weight of the moment, yet never let it crush him. Even his preparation for this game had been special. Teammates revealed that he had spent extra hours studying the opposing pitcher, watching every detail, from release angles to pitch sequencing. That dedication paid off. When the opportunity came, he recognized the breaking ball just soon enough to stay back and drive it into the gap. The fans watching from home saw more than just a hit. They saw the culmination of discipline, study, and resilience. The kind of story that makes baseball more than a sport, it becomes an emotional experience shared by millions. After the interview, as he walked off the field, several young fans called out his name. He stopped, signed a few baseballs, and posed for pictures. It was a small gesture, but one that revealed who he really was, humble despite the spotlight, aware of the people who believed in him. Analysts in the post-game show praised his instincts. He's not the loudest player, one commentator said, but his presence is undeniable. When he steps up to the plate, you feel something's going to happen. Another added, that hit might have changed the direction of the entire series. In the locker room, laughter and music filled the air. The players splashed water on each other, celebrating not just a win but the momentum they desperately needed. Yet in one corner, the hero quietly removed his gloves and sat for a moment, looking thoughtful. "We did it," he murmured to a teammate. "But tomorrow, we start again." That simple mindset, never satisfied, always forward-looking, is what defines great athletes. The team captain later mentioned, "He's the heart of our lineup. The energy he brings keeps everyone grounded and hungry." Outside the stadium, reporters swarmed, trying to capture every reaction. Fans wearing his jersey sang victory chants, waving flags under the night sky. Social media exploded with highlights of his game-winning moment, already being replayed hundreds of thousands of times across Japan. His family, watching from the stands, was visibly emotional. His parents clasped hands as the crowd cheered their son's name. "He's been chasing this dream since he was a child," his father said to a reporter. "Tonight, he lived it. The night will be remembered not just for the score, but for how it unfolded, a masterclass in patience, timing, and courage." Baseball, at its heart, is about moments like this, one swing that can change everything. Game the 4th of May have been just one chapter in the SMBC Japan series, but for the fans, it was the kind of chapter that will be replayed for years to come. That line drive, that celebration, that humble smile, they're now part of baseball folklore. The hero himself, though, downplayed it as always. "It's a team win," he insisted. "Everyone played their part. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time." But those who watched knew better, he was the difference. When asked about what motivated him, he paused before answering. "The fans," he said simply. "Every cheer, every message, it gives me strength. I want to give something back." That statement perfectly captured his bond with the people who adore him. As the stadium lights dimmed and the cleanup crew began their work, the echoes of the crowd still lingered. The hero's name was on everyone's lips, from children in jerseys to elderly fans who'd followed the team for decades. The momentum from Game 4 shifted the entire atmosphere of the series. The opponents, who had seemed confident after the first few games, now looked uncertain. The hero's performance didn't just win a game, it sparked belief. By the time the team bus rolled away from the dome, the streets were still alive with celebration. Fans held up banners reading, "Believe," and "One Team," inspired by the words of the night's hero. Inside the bus, players talked quietly, analyzing what went right. The hero sat by the window, earbuds in, staring out into the glowing Tokyo skyline. Perhaps he was replaying that hit in his mind, the pitch, the contact, the explosion of noise, or maybe he was already thinking about the next challenge. As the city settled into the night, one thing was certain: Game 4 of the SMBC Japan Series 2025 would go down as one of the defining moments of the season. The hero of the night didn't just win a game, he reminded everyone why baseball, at its core, is about passion, perseverance, and the power of belief. And as the world waits for Game 5, all eyes will once again turn to him, the quiet warrior who rose to the moment and delivered when it mattered most. His story, written in sweat and tears, is far from over. It's only just beginning.